Hello everyone, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel. If I've uploaded this at the correct time, it should be Christmas Day. Happy Christmas if you celebrate that. If you don't, well, I don't know. Happy day for you anyway. So today we have the model of 1891 Carcano Rifle, and I had done a previous video on my M38 Carcano Rifle. So the M38 is basically the standard rifle for World War II, and the model 1891 is the standard issue rifle for World War I. Now, I'm going to go with the assumption that you already watched that video because, I don't know, I already made it. And some of the things I talked about in that video, I'm not going to talk about this video. I talked a little bit about the action, a little bit about the cartridge, so I'm just going to kind of gloss over those things. What I'm going to do in this video is, because I did the M38 video first, I'm going to compare this rifle, how it's set up, compared to the other rifle. And if nothing else, you'll see how this rifle is. So, first of all, it is a very long rifle, and I could have looked this up, but the barrel length is probably over 30 inches. And that's something that you could easily look up, and I don't know if I feel like annotating it or not, but that's something that could easily be looked up without having to listen to me. Nice finish on the wood, too. So, this was made in 1898, so this is actually an antique, and made by Tierney. That is the model number, or sorry, serial number. And it has a lot of polish that a wartime production rifle simply does not have. Let's go back to front, as I normally do, and I can compare it to the M38 and just kind of point out the features in general. So first of all, we have a metal buttstock. Oh my god, it's so long. It's kind of so long. A metal buttstock. There is no trapdoor or anything in here. A little scratch here. What is that? Those scratches. Solid metal butt pad. The M38 that I have, and I'm gonna keep comparing those two guns because those are the guns that I own. Those are the guns I know well. The M38 has like a trapdoor here. This has nothing. The M38 has a sling bar. This does not. It has a little sling loop right here. And look at that cartouche. This is a... Look at that marking. Look at that engraving of the serial number in the stocks. This is actually really good. I mean, considering this rifle may or may not have gone through World War I, it's in pretty good shape. We have the same basic Carcano action. However, this particular one in general is a little more smooth. It's a little more refined than the other example that I have, although still not that great. And I've actually read through, like, there's a Carcano book, and I've read through the Carcano book, that the model 1891 bolts are not interchangeable with some of the other later rifles. So keep that in mind, that the 1891 bolt is kind of its own thing. So if you have trouble fitting bolts, there might be a reason for that. The bolt handle on this one is straight and actually sticks out quite a bit, whereas the M38's bent. The magazine is more or less the same. As I mentioned in my other video, the Carcano, in generalities, is a, try to say clip fed, but I mean, clips feed magazines, magazines feed gun is the expression. So the Carcano uses a mandatory 6-round clip that goes in there. And this one is not, oh, almost didn't catch right. And basically you have to work the bolt like that. Work the bolt, close, fire, keep racking the bolt over and over again, and use up all the cartridges in that clip. And when the clip is empty, the clip will fall at the bottom. I'm going to now try to use the clip release, which is a little awkward. Oh, I got it. There we go. Come on out. Come on. Come on out. Come on. So, oh, I feel like I shouldn't have caught. I must have caught on something else here. It's sometimes easier just to run the bolt than use the clip release. However, since I'm using these spent cartridges, I couldn't really cycle it that well. Safety is still in the same spot. It's still this piece right here that's easy to rotate with the bolt itself. You have to push in and then rotate. It's kind of an awkward safety, however, it does work. Let me take this off camera a second just to get it better. Again, the same basic design as the later bolts, but just I guess slightly different enough that they are not interchangeable. Oh, they look pretty much the same. But I have tried it, they don't fit each other. The sights on the Model 1891 are vastly more complicated than the M38. The M38 is a fixed sight. I believe this is the battle sight, and this is 300 or 400 meters? I think this is 400 meters. And you have the front sight, I'm sorry, basically the front portion of the rear sight folded down. And if you actually wanted to use this rear sight, you would push down like this, and then bring it to whatever ludicrous range you would set that for. I currently have it set at, let's see, that appears to be 1,600 meters. I have 1,600 meters. So, congratulations to anyone actually able to hit a target at that distance. But most people are just going to leave that down. Notice how there no upper handguard here. It's actually quite a bit of a barrel here. You could burn your hands on. Barrel band, little spring keeper, sling, swivel here. There is a cleaning rod, threaded cleaning rod, which the M38 does not have. Let's see, how long is this cleaning rod? Is this long enough to actually clean the gun with? Just barely. I can't show you all here. But it is just a little bit short for the full length of the barrel, so you're going to need some kind of other attachment to go onto this. Bayonet lug, and again, pretty more or less the same front sight post on the other M38 Carcano that I have, and the barrel's not threaded. This gun is big and heavy. I'm trying to get that cleaning rod back in. I don't need that coming out. This gun is big and heavy, and the 6.5 Carcano cartridge I talked about before is a pretty soft shooting cartridge, even in the carbine. So in the rifle, it's quite pleasant. And as I talked about before, it's hard to measure the accuracy of these guns because the 6.5 Carcano cartridge is a little weird. The 6.5 Carcano cartridge, the actual bullet diameter is a little bit smaller than I'm trying to say this correctly. The 6.5 Carcano cartridge, I think, is a little bit bigger than what most people actually use. So the PPU ammo is slightly undersized. And there's also some problems with the 7.35 cartridge in that their 7.3 or their 30 caliber cartridge is a little bit smaller of a cartridge than what most people would use. So if you use like 7.62 caliber bullets, it would be too big for those guns. So it's a weird thing. And unless you're using what is the correct diameter bullets for the Carcano rifle, it's really hard to measure accuracy. However, I don't shoot distance at all, and I'm really not even trying that hard. I just take them out every once in a while and just shoot them a little bit. Honestly, I should shoot this gun more often than I don't. So again, as I'm not a really good rifle shooter, and as this rifle is not using its correct specification ammo, I think even trying to show targets is really a moot point. I don't think it matters. And as I mentioned in my last video, I picked this rifle up for $300, which I think is a great deal. I think there are a lot of Carcanos floating around. However, I think this is probably the best example I've ever seen. It is, I guess, an antique. It is a pre-World War I example, so I think a little bit more time and care went to this gun than some other guns might have gotten. And yeah, I like it. it's good. So if you can get one like this, pick it up. Anyway, this is Steven from the Even Steven channel. Please do all that like, sharing, and subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Thank you, and goodbye.